Welcome everyone, I'm Anthony Hero and this is Otogirisō, Hypericum Perforatum, apparently. So, my name is, in fact, what is your name, viewer? Uh, My name is Walter. You have to say it like that. It just fit, just barely. The narrow mountain road weaved back and forth. I'm not sure if it was because of the shadows from the mountain or something else, but it felt oddly gloomy. The trees were all lined up in a row, like a procession of corpses, and the way the rocks were shaped made them look like monsters. I decided to put those disturbing thoughts out of my head. I could hear Nami breathing lightly as she slept. Dreaming. She was awake until just a moment ago. I figured she must be tired after a day of fishing at the river. She looked so beautiful as she slept. As I gripped the steering wheel, I couldn't help but gaze at her. Ah! Walter! A car! Nami suddenly shouted. Without thinking, I was just about to hit the brakes, but there was no car heading towards us at all. Nami. Oh, that was a dream? Come on, get it together. I pretended like I was gonna smack her with my elbow. And at that time, oh, wait, these are my options. I thought about how cute Nami was, or I shivered like I just had a premonition of something sinister. I like this one better. At that time, I shivered like I just had a premonition of something sinister. Nami looked out the window. Hey, Walter. What? What's the name of those flowers, I wonder? I noticed them earlier. There was a big stretch of yellow flowers beside the road that had long, thin stems and elliptical leaves. They go by a few names. Oh wait, that's Walter. They go by a few names. Hypericums, Saint John's Wort, or Otogirisō. Spelled out, that's brother cut flowers. Otogirisō. Oh right. I'm a good voice actor, y'all. Don't you forget it. Otogirisō? Yeah. There's a weird story about those flowers. I thought I'd tell it to Nami to make the drive a little interesting, so... I mean, these are kind of the same thing. I figured I could embellish the story. Once upon a time. Huh? What's this about, all of a sudden? It happened ages ago. Two brothers, falconers, lived deep in the forest. The two of them got along so well, and always spent their days hunting together. Are you saying falconers hunt for falcons? I got the fucking... what's-her-face voice back from Digimon. Nice. What falcons? Anyway, they were from a prestigious family that was well known for raising strong falcons, but they had a secret. A secret medicine that healed falcons' wounds. It had been passed down in their family for generations. With that medicine, falcons that usually would have died from their injuries healed right up. That's not fair, keeping it all to themselves. Maybe so, but it was for that reason that the brothers were respected by their nobility. The Yate respected them very much. One day, the ruler of their village gathered all of the falconers around for a hunting tournament there. A hunting tournament? Weird. Metal Gear. Don't pester me about the story, alright? It feels like it's dragging on, though. Let's accommodate her. Should I give you the short version? Please. Okay, to make a long story short, the secret medicine got leaked out. The older brother was so mad at his little brother for it that he stabbed him. His blood splashed on the flowers, and that's where the flowers got their name. Otogirisō. Brother cut flowers, huh? Oh, wait, that's probably Nami. Otogirisō, brother cut flowers, huh? That's the story. It's the kind of story you hear all the time, huh? Oh, it's starting to rain. Each flower has a meaning, you know, and Haber comes mean. Oh, I can't remember. You forgot. I made it this far into the story, but it was on the tip of my tongue. Now you've got me curious. Curious, too. What was it, though? I know I didn't mean suicide, or no, it didn't mean suicide or anything like that. A flower that stands for... Oh, what? Fuck. A flower that stands for suicide? I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. Nami laughed. This one, sure. I responded calmly. It's not out of the question. If only I could speak. Perhaps I could respond calmly. It's not out of the question. It's a big world out there. There are so many flowers with so many meanings. Hey, more importantly, are we heading the right way? I feel like this place looks really different compared to before. Now that she mentioned it, it did look different. Now that you mention it, it's weird. This was supposed to be a shortcut. You mean your brain took a shortcut, right? Nami worked my stupidity under her breath. There's no time to be joking around. We need to hurry. I pushed down the gas pedal. Nice. Whoa! I turned the steering wheel quickly. I managed to dodge the car, barely, but the car was careening downhill. Something wasn't right. The brakes weren't working. The car was gradually picking up speed. Walter. Brake. Oh, that's probably not me. Walter. Brake. I'm stepping on the brakes. They're not doing anything. Well, do something. To my left was a big tree, and to my right was a river. Okay. So, I can fling ourselves out of the car. I can do the classic die in a car crash. And I can also do the James Sunderland. Let's fly out of the car. We're gonna be fine. I pulled on the parking brake. No, Disa. We're gonna die. Oh, that's not Nami, okay. We're gonna die. I shouted as I stepped on the brakes again, but it didn't do anything. Ah. Nami tucked her heads down. I closed my eyes too, but I was so worked up that I kept screaming something. Walter. Huh? When I opened my eyes, I saw that the car had stopped. Nami had her eyes cast down, and she was kind of blushing. Did I shout something embarrassing in the heat of the moment? Don't tell me I shouted out that I loved her. To hide how bashful I felt, I said, "Are you okay, Nami?" That's the normal human thing to answer there, yes. Are you okay, Nami? Yeah. We get out of the car. We could see a small light through the grass. Maybe it's a house. Does that seem the kind of place where you'd find a house? I certainly did sense some weird vibes coming from that direction. Oh. Huh? It seemed like the light started moving. Cut it out. It was a window, right? But I mean, just now. It kinda went swoosh. To the side. I decided to take a look through the forest. Nami covered her ears and squatted down. I guessed and watched the giant tree fall. The cedar tree had split in two, and it was smoldering, pushing black smoke up into the air. Below it, my car had been smashed, beyond repair. How? It's as flat as a pancake, huh? Well, at least we're both alive. We should get going. We can't just stand around here after all. See, So this is Japan exclusive, and was fans translated. I don't remember if they had the credits at the start. Maybe, hopefully they'll have the credits at the end, if we reach the end. But yeah, I figure in Japanese, like I would be able to figure out um who's talking based on the gender specific terminology that they use. The problem here is that I don't speak Japanese, nor do I read it. Like I speak more Japanese than I read it, if that makes sense. Because so we need this. We fished out a bag with an extra set of clothes we'd packed and a flashlight, and started walking to what seemed like the light of the house, or of a house. I'm not all over the place. You're wrong. Hey, what if it's not a house? Nami seemed really scared. Maybe the lighting really shocked her. So... Okay, so I could do this, but this is the asshole thing to do. So we're gonna grab Nami's hand and then start running. Hoping to calm Nami down, I took her hand. Ah, no! She was acting like I had groped her, or something. Hey, Nami. Oh, sorry, Walter. Your face looked like some kind of dried up mummy for a second there. Huh? A mummy? Ah! Nami came over and clung to me. Like fucking shaking a Scooby-Doo. The rain's getting worse. Let's pick up the pace. Oh! Nami and I had both said the same thing at the same time. There was an animal nothing but hypericums. Hypericums. Yeah. They looked almost like a path that was leading us towards the light. That's when I said, well, okay. So, this is the logical answer. Maybe we shouldn't go is the logical answer. At the same time, I don't know where we are. Like, if we're close to the road, then someone might come pick us up. Realistically speaking. At the same time, it's a horror game and all, so nobody will arrive. We should probably go check it out. Let's go check it out for the time being, Nami. Okay. We continued walking. Suddenly, Nami stopped dead in her tracks. Nami? She was silently pointing at something. It was an old mansion. Not only were there lights on in one of the windows, the whole building seemed to glow with a blue, otherworldly light. That building! Nami held her breath. It almost looks like it's glowing. It does, doesn't it? I could feel a chill run down my spine. I was getting goosebumps. Are we still going in there anyway, Walter? When Nami asked me that, we should talk. I feel like that is the most logical course of action here. Then again, in this scenario, logic doesn't exist. So, in theory, we should go back to where we came from. But that should just loop us back around here. I don't think anything will happen. So I decided to head straight inside. Why not? I decided to head straight inside. It should be a good test of our courage. Let's go. Your voice is trembling, Walter. I was just adding a little vibrato to it. We don't have to do it if you don't want to. Let's turn back. That's exactly what I wanted to do, but I didn't want her to think of me as less of a man. We're gonna run in. Now shut up and follow my lead. That's a good way to get a girl. Tell her to shut up. They love that. My voice trembled again. We ran. We ran so far away. I couldn't get away. Nami ran like a wild goat, falling about 5 meters behind me, which is about 15 feet by the time I reached my front gate. The fucking... Did you convert this? Did you just know? Who does this? Who speaks like this? Let's go inside. And then I thought I'd enter without any hesitation, so Nami wouldn't be scared. I mean, I'm supposed to be a macho man, Randy Savage. Oh yeah. You know. I thought I'd enter without any hesitation, so Nami wouldn't be scared. I easily pushed open the heavy-looking doors of the gate, which gleamed black, wet from the rain. They put up no resistance. Excuses, we're coming inside. We politely bowed before taking the first step beyond the gates. The whole garden was filled with hypericums in bloom. All they're growing are hypericums. At that moment, that's no longer quoted. At that moment, something raced by. Oh, it's a cat. Oh, a cat? Man, it scared me. It's a black cat. The black cat turned back to face us. Its body began to swell with light, and it turned green. No, a green cat? The green cat quickly left, heading through the many hypericums in the field. Walter. Without delay, I said, "It must be a trick of the light." The wind grew strong. It sent a wave through the countless yellow flowers. The wave moved from gate dimension. I'm rewriting this game as we speak. I could almost feel the dimension shake from the impact of the wave, and then it stopped. I stood there in the rain, struck by the thought that I just witnessed something sinister and dark. Hey! Nami put her hand up to her ear. Do you hear that? Something's rustling. Huh? You mean the wind blowing through the leaves? Not that. Something else. Suddenly, a speckled snake slithered out from the tall grass. I could see its fangs glistening in its open mouth. You hear it, right? That sound. What are you talking about? Look! What are you talking about? Look, it's a snake! A snake! I took Nami by the hand and ran toward the mansion in a panic. Hey, wasn't that a rattlesnake? Macho man, stone cold. We just need Hogan. And like Rock, I guess. What's it doing in a place like this? Nami shouted as we ran. How should I know? Fuck. Why don't you ask the snake yourself? It's poisonous. If I tried talking to it, it would bite me for sure. We screamed back and forth at each other as we sprinted as hard as we could. Both of you are fucking dumb. We ran up the stone steps to the entrance, and when we turned back, we saw the snake slithering towards us over the brick-lined path. I grabbed the door's handle. The door was locked, and it wouldn't even budge. Excuse me. Could you open the door, please? Please? There didn't seem to be any response from the inside of the mansion. What the? It's coming! It's coming closer! Nami shrieked. I committed breaking and entering. I hit the window with my fist as hard as I could to break it. You're coming too, fuck. You're coming too, Nami! There we go, that's the anime voice. But yeah, no. You're coming too, Nami. I pushed my way through the broken window and then pulled Nami inside. Phew! We're safe for now, huh? Oh, you're bleeding! Nami grabbed my hand. My left hand had been scratched. It was bleeding. Oh, it'll be fine. It's just a scratch. I sucked at the wound. Don't do that. You need to get it properly treated. Nami took out a handkerchief from her pocket and wrapped it around my hand. It smelled faintly of roses. This is all I can do for you now, but I'll tend to it later. Oh, thanks. I felt a bit bashful. But anyway, the lock's useless now, huh? Whoever owns this place will probably give us an earful once they find out. We have to apologize to them ahead of time then. I stood up and looked around. It's the Spencer Mansion? I forget, what was the fucking name of the mansion from Resident Evil? Yeah, it's that. We're there. It was a spacious entrance. There was a hall with stairs leading up to the second floor, and a large chandelier hung from the ceiling. On the left side, there was a large brick fireplace with a cloth-covered sofa set in front of it. Is anybody home? I raised my voice and walked further inside. We've just let ourselves in, Nami also shouted out, but nobody replied. Maybe nobody's home? Yeah, well, whatever. Let's sit down for a while. I'm exhausted. I walked over to the sofa. I saw there was a suit of Western-style armor that had been placed beside the fireplace. I'd seen suits of armor on TV and in photographs, but this was the first time I'd ever seen one in person. People fighting in the Middle Ages actually wore these things. It occurred to me how heavy it must have been for those people to wear them. Hey, what's up with that? Nami tapped my shoulder. What's up with that? That there. Now I pointed over there to this. Oh, I pointed over to the right side of the entrance hall. A huge aquarium had been placed up against the wall. There wasn't anything particularly unique about the shape of it. It was just an ordinary-looking glass aquarium you'd find anywhere, set in a silver-colored frame. The problem was the size. It was abnormally large. You think there's something inside of it? I went over to the aquarium. The inside of the glass was covered with mildew, and the water was really dirty. Even if something was in there, you wouldn't be able to see what it was. As I reached over the top and tried... Oh, wait. Okay, let's not be stupid about things. Thinking I could take a peek from above, I moved over the small sofa that was in front of the fireplace. Standing on the sofa and looking down, I could see a black mass within the dark water. I couldn't tell if it was a creature of some kind of boulder. It's Dwayne! Fuck! Or maybe algae. I didn't have any idea. Well, do you see anything in there? No, nothing. At that moment, the black clump moved a little. Something that looked like a ping-pong ball floated up to the top. Yeah. I looked away. It smelled like rotten fish, and the stench made me feel nauseous. I held my breath as I looked down once more, but I couldn't see anything that had changed. What could that have been? And then... It came from the second floor. Someone's got to be there, then. Let's go see. We walked up the stairs at the entrance. Hey. Even though we'd come so far as to walk up the staircase... Oh, even though we'd come so far as to walk up the staircase, Nami was whispering to me. What should we say if we meet whoever lives here? We'll be honest with them, tell them we had an accident in the road. What else are we supposed to say to the... Huh? What's the matter? Wasn't there a suit of armor over there? I put it to the side of the fireplace. Yeah? Oh. The suit of armor had vanished. Well, whatever. Let's go and check out that sound anyway. Oh wait, that was still Nami, whatever. Who cares? At the top of the stairs, the corridor went to the left and to the right. I think the sound came from this way. We walked down the hallway to the right. Which room could it be? Shh! I can hear it again. This is it. There is no reply. Are they not here? I opened the door without hesitation. It was dark inside. I thought that the lamp, the way they drew it, when I looked at it, suddenly it looked like fucking Jesus. Like it looked like there was just a crucifix holding up the lampshade. It was dark inside. It didn't seem like anyone was there. There was a wooden table. I mean, those exist, but that's not what that says. There was a wooden table in the corner to the left with an electric light stand on it, which glowed in with a red light. I saw another table, a smaller one, right beside it. It had a checkered cloth on top of it and a single book. I stepped inside of the room. Whoa! The door suddenly slammed shut behind me. Yes, we should probably concern ourselves with Nami. She's also here. Nami, look at the door, I yelled. It's okay. It's open. I could hear a sound coming from inside the room. Huh? Is someone there? Something strange happened. A table with a book set up on it was moving closer to me. Or so I thought. Turns out it was a wheelchair. The person on the wheelchair had a book on their lap, which I had mistaken for a table. I couldn't see the face of the person sitting in the wheelchair because they were lit from behind, giving them a silhouette. Oh, sorry for coming on in a fuck, that's us. Oh, sorry for coming in uninvited. We didn't knock first, or we did knock first, but... I bowed down to the person in the wheelchair, and their legs caught my eye. They were so thin, I felt like they might shatter into pieces after a mere touch. I raised my head back up. There, with the brown skin and sunken eyes, sat a mummy. The light from the tent cut out, and the room went totally dark. Did the wheelchair just move? What? I stepped backwards. Ah. Now we tugged at my clothes. The squeaking of the wheelchair was coming closer and closer. My hands trembled, and I wasn't able to open the door. Hurry! Hurry up and open it! We practically fell over ourselves to escape into the hallway. But it was pitch black outside of the room too. I couldn't tell left from right. Nami, where's my flashlight? How would I know? I can't remember. Was there anything else that could be used as a light source? Oh, good question. Just use the lighter. Maybe I could use the lighter in my pocket. I caught a glimpse of the staircase just a short distance away. There! We headed downstairs in a panic. The flashlight had been dropped right in front of the aquarium. Ow! It's hot! I couldn't hold onto the lighter anymore. I let go of it completely and fumbled around with my hands until I picked up the flashlight. I turned it on and pointed it at the second floor. I could see its hazy circle of light illuminate the second floor passage. There was no trace of the mummy. I can't. My legs. Nami collapsed to the ground helplessly. I sat down beside her. I couldn't believe it though. A mummy? Here, in modern-day Japan? In modern-day 1992 Japan? Were we just seeing things? Why are these the only options? What the fuck? I was waiting for the... I waited with Nami so that she could recover and then we moved together because, you know, that's like... something's probably gonna have to happen to Nami and we need to be separated. I'm just, you know, trying to actually survive. Whatever, I'll go with this. I didn't want to scare Nami, so I decided to go check out the mummy by myself. Where are you going? Nami called out to me from behind. I'm going to go and find out whether or not that mummy was real. Who cares if it was real? Let's just stop. Nami was terrified. But I'm curious. And Nami, you're scared too. We need to find out the truth. We just might have mistaken it for something it wasn't. That's true, but still. I'll be right back. I walked over to the staircase. Wait, don't leave me alone here. I'll go too. We returned to the door. Right, yeah. Sorry, my brain skipped. We returned to the door of the room we had entered before. The door had been left open. I timidly looked a peek inside, but I only saw the electric stand on the ground. There was no trace of the mummy. How strange. Ah, it's on. The light was back on. The small stand was lit again, as well as the chandelier in the hallway. Oh, a cat. I also just realized that I said chandelier. Alright, cool. A black cat had come out from under the table. Here, kitty kitty. Oh, that's Nami. Fucking, here, kitty kitty. Nami crouched down and picked it up. How strange. I looked around the room. Were we just seeing things? You saw it too, Nami. Right? She didn't reply. She was entirely focused on the cat. I picked up the book, which had fallen on the floor. I opened it up. It was diary. Alright, it was a diary. The entry I saw was dated 6 years ago. While flipping through the pages, I suddenly found a page that was bright red. It's blood. Huh? There was nothing written on the page, and a hypericum had been stuck inside there as a bookmark. It was covered in a blackish red liquid. And it's still fresh. Upon seeing the diary, now it started to look a little green. Neither of these. Whatever. I muttered to myself, could this be the mummy's blood? Hey, what's that sound? Something was approaching the hallway. It's the fucking... the guy. It's the knight. It's the knight. He's here too, I guess. Could it be that suit of armor that vanished earlier? That's ridiculous. The sound stopped right in front of the door. Oh, the cat. The kitty jumped through the gap in the doorway and went into the hallway. We held our breath as we looked at the door, but we didn't get the sense that anything was about to happen. We took a look through the gap, but we didn't see anybody there. It's strange, isn't it? Hey, this is creeping me out. Let's leave this mansion already. Oh. I flipped around who was speaking. Whatever. Nami sounded afraid of when she said it. I replied. Man, this is the first time I've been in such a weird house. It's really fascinating, you know, Nami. I know that you're scared, and I apparently have romantic feelings for you, but also, fuck you. Okay. Now, on one hand, on one hand, this is like this feels like the most meta way to put things. On the other hand, that's also the truth. But I'll go with this. Yeah, that sounds like a wise decision. We looked around as we headed down the stairs. We made it back to the entrance hall. However... Huh? There are shutters there are shutters over the windows. There were 2 windows in the entrance hall, but both of them were sealed from the outside by iron shutters. When did those get here? Me, check the door. When did those get here? Now we check the door. I checked the shutters on the window. No good. It's solely sealed shut here. The door won't open. Fuck. The door won't open either. So you're saying we're trapped in here? No way. No, it couldn't have been intentional. Whoever owns the house probably came back. What should we do? I was confused, and it was hard to come up with any. And it was hard to come up with any ideas. I mean, yeah. I know. Let's look for a phone. There aren't any phones here. That's why we have to go look for one. What are you getting mad at me for? I'm not getting mad. I can take one look at your face and know you're angry. It's the face I was born with. I headed to the Nice. You love to see it and hear it, I guess. I headed to the back of the entrance hall. The hallway stretched to the left and right. Which way should we go? I asked, in Nami's voice. Alright. Let's check the left because we can eliminate it easier. It saves us time. Let's check the left side. It has fewer doors. I should probably take a drink. That might be the problem. Oh boy. Apparently, I don't have drinks. Give me a sec. Let's check the left side. It has fewer doors. We entered the hallway to the left. So, which door should we enter? We'll save the ones further down for later. Let's start searching from the front. I grabbed the handle of the double doors on the left side of the hallway. The moment I opened the door, my nose got hit with the stench of mold. The lights weren't on. I fumbled around, feeling for a light switch. Once the lights came on, my eyes were drawn to the large wooden desk before me. The back of the desk faced the window, and aside from what... The back of the desk faced the window, and aside from that wall with the window, all of the walls were being used as bookshelves. It looks like a study. I went over to the window and checked whether or not I went over to the window and checked whether or not it could be opened, but just like the shutters, it wouldn't even budge. No such luck, huh? Okay, that's us. It's not Nami narrating everything while we're fucking stoically and silently doing everything. And by stoically, I of course mean yelling at Nami. No such luck, huh? I gave up on that idea and looked around the room. It seems like they haven't used this room in a long time, doesn't it? It smells so moldy in here. There was a crystal ball on the table, along with tarot cards and a smattering of other tools that fortune tellers might use. Hey, look at that. Of course, the one time. Fuck. Hey, look at that. Nami pointed at the bookshelf. There was a weather-beaten skull stuck in between the books. Doing some post-mortem analysis, maybe. Or the people who live here researchers or something? I tried to say it was a joke, but I ended up stuttering over it. I wonder what sort of books they've got here. I tried to hide my embarrassment by reading some of the covers of the books that were lined up on the shelves. Black Magic, the Basics and Applications, Christ and the Fish, Baphomet, Curses and Rituals of Revenge. Okay. What? How does Christ and the Fish fit here? Like, I'm assuming it's just like a separate release for some reason of the story where he feeds people with fish. Like, you know, it feels a bit misplaced amongst these surroundings. Whoever owns this place sure has an odd taste in books, huh? Definitely not someone I'd want as a friend. Wouldn't really make for a good acquaintance either. Oh well. It is what it is. Let's search somewhere else, okay? We'll have to study. After we walked from the hallway to the entrance hall, Nami spoke up. Hey, is that a phone under the aquarium? It really is. It was a black dial-up phone. Hey, we can call home from here. Nami couldn't hold back a smile. But could we even get anybody to drive all the way up out here? Let's try calling home to find out. Sure. I held the phone to my ear. Alright. Whoa. An iron axe swooped down just in front of my face. When I looked up, I saw that the suit of armor I thought had vanished was suddenly standing next to the aquarium. I approached the suit of armor with caution and looked at the helmet. It was totally empty. Of course it's empty. Yeah, of course it is. I'm assuming that's Nami, yeah. Nami screamed so loud. What's the matter? It got the cord. The axe just couldn't cut the phone's cord. What? I quickly put the phone up to my ear. I couldn't hear the dial tone. I stupidly tried dialing a number anyway, but the phone was clearly dead. There was no response. It's not gonna work now. There was no point in even trying. I hung up the phone and stood back up. That's what you can do about it. We'll have to find our other way. Nice! You can't be serious. The sound of ringing echoed through the spacious hall. Why? This doesn't make any sense. Then I sighed and picked up the phone. I sighed and picked up the phone. Hello? I couldn't hear anything. Hello? More ringing. It's a different phone. A phone was ringing somewhere else in the mansion. And one over there too. What's going on? I could hear more phones ringing. Hello? I shouted into the phone in my hands, but I couldn't hear anything from it. Who is it? I don't know. They won't... Fuck. Who is it? I don't know, they won't say anything. It stopped ringing. Louder noise came from the second floor. Strange phones ringing, and now more noises. It's a poltergeist, I said with a shudder. It's a poltergeist, I said with a shudder. What's a poltergeist? A geist that polters. I stood up. Let's go. A single door had been left ajar, and light was poking through it. There. We stood up really straight after we entered the room and saw that what was on the wall. There was a creepy-looking stain on the wall. It looks like it's shaped like a person. The stain looked like it could have been either a man or a woman, and in the place where its hands were, there were hypericums growing. There are fuck. There are hypericums here too, in a place like this. The hypericums had broken through the wall, through the window, and through the sweat dripping down my balls. I had just remembered something rather unpleasant. What's wrong? I remembered the meaning of hypericums. Okay, what is it? Revenge. You know, I wish that we had like a face or something so I could slowly zoom in here, because that would be good. Seeing the splotch in the shape of a person there, holding hypericums, it looked like the work of some vengeful ghost vowing to get its revenge. How scary! My reaction was, I wonder if there's anybody inside of the wall. Yeah, just, normal human things. Okay, try that. I wonder if there's anybody inside of the wall, I muttered to myself, and then I shuddered. We checked out the second floor, just to be on the safe side. Aside from the door we couldn't open, with straw doors nailed into the door, we hadn't found any traces of anybody in the house, including the mummy's room. So there's nobody on the second floor now, right? Nami nodded. At her, speaking. At the very least, we can say that we couldn't find any people, the mummy or the suit of armor. I decided not to dwell on that. Alright, we should try to get this seemingly unopenable door open. I started to examine the door. Hey, let's head back down, Nami said out of the blue. Huh? I'm hungry. You are too, aren't you, Walter? We really do need to get something to eat, you know. I looked at Nami's face, my mind a blank. Nami's not acting like herself. She wouldn't just go and take food from a stranger's kitchen. Was she saying this because she was afraid, or was it something else? Hey, Nami. What did I tell you? Nami laughed. I know you're hungry by the look on your face. No, I wouldn't say that. But my stomach was weak to the power of persuasion, and it responded appropriately. I'll go on ahead, Nami said as she turned her back to me. Girl. That's it. That's all. Wait up. Hey, don't get here. Hey, don't get a head start on me like that. I figured I'd go along with Nami for the time being. As I headed with Nami into the dining room, let's see. I'd hoped that they'd have something good to eat, and I forced myself to believe that they did. That seems more normal-ish. We set our eyes on the large refrigerator just beyond the dining room. I carefully tried opening it up. Whoa. No, that's Nami. Fuck. Whoa. Nami sounded happy. There were raw fish inside. Okay. We found 2 sweet fish on a large plate. Maybe they caught these in a nearby river. Seems like these were just caught. But maybe we should find the people who own this place before we eat their stuff. We can just blame it on the cat, if need be. I have to try meowing like a cat while I eat it, in that case. These actually taste better if you grill them right beside the river, though. We have to settle for the oven. I'll handle the cooking. Now we to cut the plate. Whoa, what's this? Nami screamed and the plate fell from her hands. Huh? What? The 2 fish that had fallen on the floor were all dried up. Were they dried from the start? Yeah. Up until now, it looked like they were freshly caught, though. Those fish, so run and dried out. Okay. Full stupid. Now that I think about it, dried fish are kinda like fish mummies. Huh? Okay. What's wrong? That look on your face is scaring me. That, just now. I looked around. Did you hear that? Hear what? It sounded like a woman shrieking. I didn't hear anything. You didn't just imagine it, did you? No, I'm sure I heard it for real. It came from over there. I approached the window. It was too dark to see outside, but I had a bad feeling about what it might be. Wait. I'll go and take a quick look. I stepped away from the window and headed for the exit. Once again, speaking in Nami's voice, as I am known to do. Hold on. What are you doing? Something might have happened and I'm curious to find out. Wait for me, I'll go too. Left the dining room. Hey, hand me your lighter for a second. What are you doing? Nami was holding the candlestick. It was from the dining room table. I felt a little uneasy about not having a light of my own. Thanks. Here, you can have your lighter back. Nami held the now lit candlestick and I gripped my flashlight as we walked slowly down the hall. Hey, did you really hear someone? I could see doubt in Nami's eyes as she looked at me. Yeah, it sounded like he. It was a long and mournful cry. Creepy. Nami furrowed her brow. But why would they be shrieking like that? Could it be a burglar? A burglar? It's certainly possible. It would explain why the lights are on even when the owner isn't home. The hallway veered to the left and continued to the back of the mansion, but the hallway there was tight and the ceiling was getting lower too. And what's more, it felt strangely gloomy there. It was like we'd veered off the main road into some back alley. My flashlight lit up a small iron door just ahead. It came from behind that door. There's something creepy about this door, don't you think? Almost like they're conducting some sort of secret experiments in there. It was just like Nami said. It was just like Nami thought, and I had narrated. The door had been painted clumsily, and almost all of that paint had fallen off, leaving the metal door entirely red with rust. I wonder if it's open. I put my hand on the doorknob. For fuck's sake, whatever. There's that voice. You heard it this time, didn't you? It's the same voice as before. Nami stared wide-eyed at me and shook her head in denial. We're going in. I hurled the door open. I got struck in the face by a blast of wind and water. It was the back door, huh? I can't see anything out there. Words. When I shined my flashlight outside, something to the right reflected the light. It's a greenhouse. Was the shrieking coming from there? Wait, if we're outside, shouldn't we continue with the plan of leaving? Shouldn't we knock off? Wasn't that the plan? Oh. I could hear Nami shout I could hear Nami shout behind me. What happened? The flame went out. Nami held the candlestick in her hand, looking at me reproachfully. Well, of course it would. And we're going out in the rain, so... What should I do with it? I can't use it out there, so let's just leave it here. That... Okay. I mean, on one hand, if it soaks, then you can't use it later either. That's true, but wouldn't you want to, I don't know, just cover it with your hands and then, you know, take it with you so you can light it up in the greenhouse if we're going there? I guess that makes more sense to me. Whatever. I set the candlestick at my feet and tugged at Nami's hand. Alright, let's go. Hand in hand, we trudged through the mud. Our clothes, which had just started to dry, were soaking wet almost instantly, and our shoes became heavy from all the mud. Do you think somebody's in there? Nami asked me, quietly. I doubt it. What? So we came out here for no reason? I mean, not anyone who's alive anyway. No way. The expression on Nami's face changed instantly. If anybody was in there, they would have seen us shining. What the fuck did I read? They would have seen us shining a flashlight at them. There wasn't any response, so that would mean that they would already have to be... Why do you always have to scare me saying stuff like that? Nami looked at me like she was about to cry. We looked through the glass and saw that it was totally dark in there. I shined the flashlight inside. Oh. Nami and I both shot at the same time. There they are again. There were hypericum flowers inside. The small yellow flowers were mixed in with all of the other ornamental plants. A greenhouse of revenge, Nami said in a whisper. Don't say it like that. It's creeping me out. What? Look who's talking. We cautiously shined the light in as we walked around the greenhouse, but we made it to the other side without encountering anything out of the ordinary. We're here already, so fuck it, why not? Should we go inside the greenhouse too? I turned and faced the entrance. We haven't seen enough, haven't we? Well, you know. At that moment... It's a cat. Although if it sounds like a woman, it's probably a cat you don't want to meet. Huh? What? When I shined the light at the greenhouse door, I saw it swaying in the wind. I looked over at Nami's face. Her mouth was agape, and she looked at me out of the corner of her eyes. Uh-oh. Alright, I'll race you to the door, then. I broke into a run. What gives? The shrieking was just the sound of this door. Nami shouted as if to scold me. This is a race, you know. You'd better get moving. I paid her no mind and kept running. Wait up. Ah. When I looked back, I saw that she had fallen right on her butt in the mud. You made me fall, you jerk. I started laughing just as I reached the door. Wait, it's too dark. I can't see anything. At the entrance, I turned around and shined the light over toward Nami so she could see. The corner of the light hit the door, and the second I saw it, my smile froze up. Ah, you made it here first. Nami came over, looked at me, and said, You've got that scary expression on your face again, but you're not fooling me this time. I gestured with my head toward the glass door. You can't be so dumb, you know, he said, and then she looked over. There it was, written on the glass door in big red letters. Nami. The light that reflected off of the glass illuminated us as we stood there looking at it in the rain. It's got to be a coincidence. Oh, fuck. It's got to be a coincidence, I said, but I knew deep down inside that a voice had drawn me here. Even if it actually was a coincidence, why would her name be written here? Nami looked pale as she stood there in the rain, dumbfounded. She said nothing, her eyes transfixed up on the glass as it swayed back and forth. The door creaked again as the wind blew it. Let's go back. Oh, fucking... Let's go back, I said, making it a point to sound cheerful, but Navi didn't respond at all. Let's go, I tugged at Navi's hand, firmly. She didn't budge. Why? No. You're just overthinking it. Am I? It has to be a coincidence. It has to. This is the first time we've ever been here, for one. So, someone who someone who was here has the same name as... Oh, it actually is a dialogue. I think it worked better as Navi breaking down, speaking to herself in a panic. Whatever. It has to be a coincidence. It has to. This is the first time we've ever been here, for one. So someone has to be... So someone... So someone... What? Fuck. This is why it takes so long for the reviews to get made, in case you're wondering. So someone who fucking hell. So someone who was here had the same name as you. So what? And yeah, sure. It's weird for somebody to write their name in a place like that, but if we asked whoever lives here, they'd probably have some funny story about it. I'm sure they would. I thought loudly, without pausing, trying to shout away the fear that I have felt inside. Yeah. Naomi said quietly as she nodded. We'll catch a cold if we stay out in the rain like this. Let's head back. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. I pulled Nami away and we kept walking. So, considering that so far we've had a bunch of a bunch of premonitions in this game, I would hazard a guess and say that Nami is probably gonna die. You know, just a hunch. Even after we returned to the mansion, Nami looked gloomy. I felt sorry for her. Why would she have to see that? It was all my fault. How could I make her feel better? Oh, that's it. Hey, I said to her cheerfully. What? Feel like using their shower? Fuck. Feel like using their shower? How did I fuck it up that hard? Y'all. Like for real. What? Nami looked at me, stunned. You're covered in mud after all. But it's fine, it's fine. I think they might have won over that way. I went on ahead. Turning right down the hallway, I reached a frosted glass window or glass door. This is it. I grabbed the handle. Fucking hell. It was totally dark inside. I shined my flashlight in and... Just as I thought, it was a bathroom. There was a white sink and a large mirror on the left. On the other side was a Western-style toilet next to a sliding glass door. The shower was probably on the other side of that door. I don't understand the implications here. I'll go with this. Alright, let's start by washing our hands. Huh? I went over to the sink. The sink had a long, curved faucet. For some reason, maybe due to the seal on the faucet getting old, water continued to drip from it constantly. I turned the faucet on. The white sink became stained red. Yeah, I had a hunch. It's blood. Nami clung to my shoulder. No, it's not. It's rust. It's just rust. The red water started to clear up. The pipes have got to be getting pretty old. Hey, it's already better. It's only leather pipe. It's fine. I rinsed my hands in the running water. Nami seemed to be getting edgy. She started replacing her outfits with darker colors and applying black eyeshadow while we were in the mansion. I don't know how the fuck she started doing that. Like, where did she buy the clothes? But you know, I wanted to help her get back to the way she was before. Hey, there isn't any soap here, is there? You must want soap, yeah? Fuck. You must want soap, yeah, Nami? Oh, I'm fine with just water. There was something odd about her modest reply. Nami was normally the type who would insist on using soap. Let's like Nami's having a very bad time. We should probably not fuck. I can't even say the words that I'm trying to say. Things are good. So anyway, let's not make her problems worse, is what I was trying to say there. Maybe we should check the path. I guess my glaze through the sliding glass door there. Oh, I'll go take a look. Oh, that's Nami. Fuck. I will never get this right. Ever. Oh, I'll go take a look. Nami entered the shower room. I'll search over here, okay? I opened the cabinet beside the mirror. It was dusty, as though it had been used in a long time. It hadn't been used in a long time. There was a toothbrush with yellow bristles, and a tube of toothpaste that was sealed despite being totally flat and empty. A woman's razor was there too, but it looked like it hadn't been used in a long while. It was rusty and had small bits of hair stuck to it. I was grossed out by it, and I closed the cabinet. I glanced at the mirror and saw Nami's face there. I looked at Nami's face in the mirror as I asked her, oh, did you find any soap? No. Nami's voice echoed from the shower. Oh. Huh? I turned around, surprised. What's wrong? What's that weird look for? Nami said as she came out of the shower room. Nami, you were in there the whole time, right? Yeah? Why? There's no way I could have seen her reflection in the mirror while she was in the shower room. Did something happen? Oh, did something happen? Nami's expression darkened. I wouldn't say that exactly. My answer was intentionally vague. I didn't want to scare her any more than she already was. Plus, it's possible that I might have just been seeing things. So yeah, how about that soap? Oh, so yeah, how about that soap? Asked Mother and returned to the topic at hand. There wasn't any. How about here then? I squatted down and opened the doors under the sink. Ah. A very unpleasant, rotten, and muddy odor drifted out from inside. I held my breath and looked in. An S-shaped pipe ran down the center, and on the right side of it were cleaning fluids, pesticides, shampoo bottles, and plastic bags strewn about like junk. It was as if the water from the old pipes had mixed together with the dust and chemicals that had spilled out on the fallen bottles. It made me want to throw up. Would they really keep soap in a place like this? I don't think so. I took out a big plastic box that I found on the left side of the pipe. Inside of it was a wooden box with a cross on it. This must be the medicine box, yeah? There's something underneath it. Hold the medicine box up, Nami. Cool. Nami grabbed the handle of the medicine box and lifted it up. The moment she did, 4 bugs with black, greasy-looking wings crawled out from under the box. Ah. Cockroaches. Nami screamed and hurled them. I like how Nami gets a new voice every time she's scared. I think it really enhances this playthrough or whatever the fuck I'm doing. Nami screamed and hurled the medicine box onto the floor. When the box hit the floor, the lid flew open, carrying some medicine bottles and packets across the floor. The cockroaches vanished in an instant into the corners of the room and under the door. They were gone. Aw, the medicine scattered everywhere. Oh, fucking hell. I left as I rushed to stop the rolling bottles of medicine. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well, I'll pick it up. Nami leaned down and started putting all of the medicine back in its place. Hey, there aren't any more of them, are there? The cockroaches, I mean. I don't think there are. Hey, there it is. The soap. I stood up and turned on the faucet. Nami was still picking up the medicine that had scattered everywhere. Go ahead and wash your hands first, now that we found the soap. Okay. It sounded like a half-hearted reply. It wouldn't be too good to touch the medicine with dirty hands anyway, after all. True. Now he stood next to me and started washing her hands. As he washed the mud from her hands and arms, I watched the dirty backwater spiraling down and getting swallowed up by the drain. Hey, Walter! What? Something occurred to me when I was putting the medicine back. There were a lot of unfamiliar types of medicine there. Unfamiliar? I'd never seen them before. That is the definition of unfamiliar, yes. Show me, I guess. I don't know. Oh, apparently I'm a pharmacist. Show me. I was a little interested. Hold on a second, okay? Now I plucked up a couple different kinds of medicine. See for yourself. I took one of them, a tube of some sort of medicine, and read the label. Chloromycetin, formulated fibrinolysin. There we go. I only fucked up one of those. What's that? I opened the cap and squeezed the tube. Taking a bite. Some white cream came out. Looks like it's some sort of anti-itch cream. It didn't have that distinctive peppermint odor though. And other than the hard-to-pronounce name on the label, nothing else was written on it. I read another tube label. Vitamin E fortified sulfonamide. Now he suddenly looked shocked. Sulfonamide was used as a defoliant during the Vietnam War. A defoliant? Why would they have a vitamin E fortified defoliant? The label stated what it was used for. No, it looks like it's used to treat burns. Let's check out some of the other medicines too. I was getting curious. Topical coagulant, heparin, sulcoceril. These are all keloid drugs. What the fuck is a keloid? To be clear, I wasn't familiar with any of this beforehand. It was just written on here on the labels. Now I picked up one of the medicines on the floor and popped off the lid. Popping bottles immediately to ease her pain. Hey, look. It's a weird color. The plastic container was simple and round, and it contained purple gel capsules. I've never seen medicine this color before. But then again, I guess I haven't really seen any of this sort of medicine before. Either. Right? Nami gave me a smile I could only describe as triumphant. But there's sure a lot of cream-type medicines here, aren't there? They all seem to be treatments for burns. Did somebody who lives here get burned? It wouldn't explain why there are so many varieties, though. Well, whatever. Now that this is all cleaned up, let's take a shower already. Oh, wait a minute. There's still one more on the floor over there. A small and brown red bottle had rolled on the floor. Its cap was open. It's empty, yeah? No, there's something light yellow in there. Could this be a cream too? There was only a smattering of the goopy light yellow medicine in there. A handwritten label had been struck to the bottle. The paper looked really old, worn and discolored. Equinol. Tincture. Well, Equinol, I don't know what the fuck that would be, but it's a tincture. Not sure, it's too hard to read because the label's all worn out. Equinol tincture oil. Oh, that's Nami. Equinol tincture oil. You know what that is? It's another kind of burn medication. How do you know that? Nami looked surprised, as if she thought it was common knowledge. What do you mean, how? That sort of medicine has been around for so long. Are you sure about that? Maybe you're getting the wrong idea. Like earlier when you thought it was a defoliant. I gave a mean-spirited laugh, and Nami snatched the bottle away from me and closed it up on the medicine box. If you don't believe me, then fine. I'm kidding. I believe you. I totally do. Anyway, it really was another burn medication after all. I stood up, tilting my head to the side, and opened the glass door to go inside. The floor was covered in light blue tiles, and a white Western-style bathtub was there. There were tiles on the walls too, but they were all cracked and had black mildew growing all over them, to the point where it was hard to even see the tiles. The shower was small, considering how big the mansion was. After getting out of the tub, there was only enough room to dry yourself off. Maybe this is normal for a Western-style bathroom. We won't be able to take a shower together, will we? What? Did you say something? No, nothing at all. I'll be fine taking a shower alone. You heard what I said, huh? Now I stepped into the shower room. Hey, I wonder if this place has hot water. I tried turning the water handle, just a little. As I expected, the water came out red and cold. So I guess that's a no. I turned the handle even more, almost giving up on the idea. But no, after a while, the water cleared up as it started to warm up. I put my hand under the water. Ah, it's nice and warm. Is it? Now we reached out, to touch. Ah, fuck. Now we reached out to touch it too. A mean impulse kicked in, and I flipped the hot water off. Nami glared at me, just a little, and she retreated to the bathroom. Are you mad? She didn't reply. Back in the bathroom, she moved to take the towel hanging at the side even. You're going to use their towel? What's the big deal? I'll just dry myself off with it after I'm clean. It's no different from drying your hands, she said curtly, walked past me and proceeded to the shower. You're gonna shower in your clothes? I'll take them off inside, obviously. Oh, okay. Alright, I'll go first. Now we shut the door. Oh, this door's tight. It won't shut all the way. The sliding door rattled around, not shutting as it should. What are you so upset about? Oh, what are you so upset about? Who cares if it doesn't shut all the way? Just leave it like that. But then I can't lock it. She gave me a scared look. Don't peek, okay? I won't peek. You promised. If you peek, we're through. Are we dating? That's news to me. Yeah. In the end, she had to shower without locking the door. Through the frosted glass, I could faintly see her hang up her towel and take off her clothes. I was glad that Nami seemed like she was back to normal, and just then, a thought occurred to me. What are... No? What do you mean? Like this is desperate, but at least it's you know it's stupid and desperate, but at least it's somewhat believable. What the fuck? Just what the hell? Anyway, I tried not to look as I promised. Oh right, we forgot our change of clothes. I'm going to get our stuff at the entrance. Be right back. I called out to Nami and left the sink. I picked up my bag, sighed, and looked around the entrance hall. It was quiet. I looked at the clock there and saw that it pointed to just about 10 o'clock. All sorts of weird stuff has been happening here, but I think we'll be able to make it to the morning somehow. There it was again, the sound of that armor. I looked at where the suit of armor should have been, and it was gone. The sound seemed to be coming from the bathroom. I returned to the hall. The sound seemed to be moving away from me, as if the armor had turned down the hall. I started running. But just as I approached the front of the bathroom, I suddenly heard Nami scream from inside. That's what I expected. What's wrong, Nami? I opened the bathroom door in a panic. I came into the room at the exact time that Nami hopped out of the shower. Nami's wet white skin pierced my eyes. She was totally naked. She looked straight into my eyes. Nami squatted down. Get out! Get out! She had curled up and shouted as loud as she could. Oh, sorry. I flew out into the hallway. Turn around. Okay, sure. Nami noisily shut the glass door. Hey, are you okay? What happened? You know that wasn't on purpose, right? I was worried about you. It was true that I was worried about her, but it's also true that I felt lucky to see what I saw. Really, man? Like, shit. Whatever. No. Don't come in right now. Absolutely not. Her voice still had an edge to it. I tried to calm her down with a softer tone of voice. I know. I won't go in until you say it's okay. Are you alright though? You said it was hot. You didn't get burned, did you? I'm fine. I got hit by a little hot water. Just hold on a second. What happened? Water got so hot all of a sudden. I tried to stop it, but it just kept pouring out. And it's so cramped in there, there was nowhere to run, so I flew right out of the shower. It must have happened because this place is so run down. Are you okay? You didn't get burned, did you? I'm fine. I got out right away after all. Oh, I'll leave the clothes back here. I set it back in front of the glass door. The door opened slightly and Nami reached out for it. All good. Nami spoke up after staying silent for a while. There was a lot of steam drifting from inside and the lukewarm steam stuck to my skin. Nami had already finished changing and started drying her hair in front of the mirror. Her cheeks blushed, having come right out of the shower. Sorry about what happened earlier. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I peeked into the shower room. There was still a lot of steam, and the shower was still spraying hot water. I can speak, I swear. I reached out and touched it. Ow. My own personal Jesus. It's boiling. Told you. If you stayed in a second later, you would have been badly burned. Oh, right. Maybe that's why there was so much burn medication in there, huh? How many light bulbs started flickering above my head? Oh, but it doesn't add up. Why would they only treat their wounds? Wouldn't people generally fix the bat? Well, I can't talk about what goes on in a stranger's house. I'm just glad we're okay. What should we do, though? It's too hot to reach in there and turn off the shower. We can't just leave it running either. Oh, that's it. I remembered seeing a big machine out in the back. Judging by where I saw it, I wondered if it might have been the boiler. I'll go take a look at the boiler room. There was a boiler room? Fuck in hell. I cannot keep track of who's talking. Fuck. There was a boiler room. I saw something that might have been. I'll go take a look. Will you be okay? I'll be fine. I'll be back before you know it. I said and I left the bathroom. You shouldn't be left alone. Neither of you. I passed through the dark hallway and through the iron door, remembering the sound of the suit of armor. Could it be just beyond the door? I gulped and turned the doorknob. I opened the door as quickly as I could and jumped backwards. Nothing was there. The rain had almost entirely stopped. Guess I'd better get going, huh? I was about to step out when a hand grabbed me by the shoulder. Ah! It was Nami. What's the big idea? I shouted at her. Oh fuck. What's the big idea? I shouted at her. Can you blame me? I was scared all by myself. She spoke to me in a sweet voice. Can I just ask you not to surprise me? I think you shaved 10 years off of my lifespan just now. Oh, come on. Okay, I know. Should we go together? I'll get dirty again if I go back out, though. What do you expect me to do then? Don't get mad. Where is that boiler room anyway? You can see the light from the bathroom over there, right? It looks like there's a room leading down underneath it. So it's close. I guess. I stay here then. Just come back quickly. What? Weren't you just saying how close it is? Aren't you coming along? I don't want to get muddy again. After taking another look at Nami, I noticed that she wasn't wearing any shoes. Oh, right. I see. I'll get going then. I headed down the concrete steps. Come back here if anything dangerous happens, okay? What kind of dangerous things do you think will happen? I walked on with my left hand touching the wall. As I walked, I heard the sound of the wet leaves I was jostling. Eventually, the wall suddenly opened up to reveal the entrance. I went down the dark staircase, shining my flashlight ahead. There in the darkness, I saw a large and smooth silver machine. Several metallic pipes came out of the top and went right through the walls and ceiling. Just as I thought, it's the boiler. I shined the flashlight to take a closer look at the device before me. What's up with this? The temperature needle was set to over 80 degrees Celsius. That's 176 degrees Fahrenheit. Walter. What the fuck is wrong with you? Even now, it was climbing higher. It was only just getting warmed up earlier. I hate to think what would have happened to Nami if she'd been hit by the water now. I felt a chill run down my spine. Having found the temperature control knob, I found myself surprised once more. The dial had been set to a whopping 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Why is it set this high? And what's more, it was making a weird noise. Who knows? Maybe the boiler was as old as the house itself. I turned the knob down about halfway to 40 degrees Celsius. That's still very hot. Oh, you're not gonna convert it into Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. Now we'll just have to wait and see what happens. How did it go? Nami asked me when I made it back. I found out the problem there. The boiler's temperature was set to 100 degrees Celsius, or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. What? Why the fuck did you convert it into Fahrenheit? Neither of us used that here. Nami was stunned. You got out right away, so I'm guessing it was up to about 50 degrees at that time. You know what it was when it got to the boiler? 80 degrees. That would have killed you. I started talking a little faster as I headed back into the mansion. Why would anyone... I don't know who's talking. Okay, that's Nami, I think. Why would anyone set it to 100 degrees? It would be too hot to get in. Don't ask me. But it should be fine now. I set it back down to 40. It should be back to normal soon enough. I'll pass on another shower. It's too scary. And I got the mud of me already. Hey, it's your call. You already changed too, yeah? We returned to the bathroom. I wondered if the temperature really went down. I opened the shower's sliding door. Whoa. At that moment, hot steam blasted out at me. The steam was white. It looked just like a cloud, but the temperature of the shower's water had already gone down. I reached out and turned it off. It's off now anyway. Glad that's settled. Oh, glad that's settled, Nami chuckled. Hey, what time is it? I remembered seeing the clock earlier. I think it's just past 10. Huh? Weren't you wearing a watch, Nami? Fuck. Weren't you wearing a watch, Nami? I guess I must have dropped it somewhere. I know I had it when we were in the dining room, though. Oh? Well, I'll help you look for it, but, I made an effort to put on a weak expression. Sorry, but would you actually mind if I took a shower first? That steam made me really want to take a shower. I'll be out in 5 minutes, tops. The water's already warm, after all. It shouldn't be a problem. You don't need to explain yourself. Oh, right. Just wait a second, first. I went into the shower and took her shorts and polo shirt and squeezed them out. That's what she was wearing earlier, before the shower. There must be a problem with the pipes. The water isn't going down. I looked down. The levels seemed to have dropped a bit, but the water didn't appear to be going down. Is something stuck in the pipes? I checked out to see if there was a plug, but I couldn't find anything. I peered through a gap in the gap. Fuck. I peered through a gap. I peered through a gap in the wall. The drain. In the wall drain on the top. Huh. Yuck. Long black hair had clumped together and waved into the waters like seaweed. Seaweed even. Fuck. It was too long to be Nami's hair. This must be what had plugged it up. Sadako. It creeped me out, making me think of a John body. I hesitated for a moment, closed my eyes, and plunged my right hand into the warm water. I could feel the long, thin hair tickle my hand and fingers. I forced myself to not pay attention to it and grabbed dozens of strands, then I gave them a tug. I felt like a part of it opened up, some of the strands of the hair having been ripped off. I pulled at it a good while, sometimes weakly, sometimes harder, and everything in between. Eventually, the hair split in 2 clumps, and far more hair than I ever imagined plopped up from under the water. The wet hair that I pulled up was all twisted together. It looked like some kind of wild animal. I gritted my teeth and left the room. Now I took a long look at what I pulled out, covered her mouth with her hands, and looked away. I don't blame her. It was filthy and muddy. The word disgusting wasn't enough to capture it. I threw it all into a trash can just beside the sink and rolled out a ton of toilet paper that was hung on the wall to wipe all of the hair off my arms. Maybe someone got a haircut recently. Oh, fucking hell. Maybe someone got a haircut recently, I said, playing dumb, trying to brush aside how creeped out I was. But it wasn't just a joke. It's hard to believe that much hair could clump together just from hair that fell out naturally. I washed my hands using water from the sink and more soap than I'd normally use. How does it look now? Is it still clogged? The water is starting to go down. Great. There might still be hair in there, but as long as it's good enough for me to take a shower, I'm okay with it. All I know is I never want to touch it again. Alright, I'm going in. I'll get out as soon as I can. Sorry if somebody comes back home in the meantime. Okay. Nami turned to the sink and started washing her own clothes. I forced the door to close, putting a little muscle into it, and I heard it snap shut completely. Oh, you're not going out. You're just stuck in there. That's where you live now. Cool. Hey, it does shut after all, huh? The water was hot, but it wouldn't be so hot that I couldn't get in anymore. I slowly climbed into the tub. Ah. I splashed some warm water against my face and let out a big sigh. I felt like I'd been brought back from the dead. The owner of the house might as well not come back at this point. We could get some rest and be out of here in the morning. I felt better, and so did my thoughts. Though what I was thinking was pretty selfish. It won't be that easy though, will it? I twisted the handle to turn on the shower. The water wasn't ridiculously hot anymore. It felt nice. I had been careless though. I'd forgotten the soap and the towel. I rubbed off the mud that was on my feet using my hands. The mud turned the water dark. That's a western style bath for you. I could see whatever I wanted using somebody else's bath. I liked how it made me feel powerful. Okay, it's about time I got out, huh? I said it extra loud, but so Nami would be able to hear, but there was no reaction in the other room. I knocked on the door. I'm coming out. No response. Weird. Did she go somewhere? Oh, I know. She's hiding so she can surprise me. With that in mind, I put my hand in the door and said, I know you're there. But the door wouldn't open. I opened it wide enough to maybe get a finger through, but then it snapped shut again. Come on, I know you're just screwing around with me. Open up. Convinced that Nami was holding the door shut, I rattled the door, tapped it, and pulled it, but it really did start to seem like Nami wasn't even there. It must be because I forced the door shut. Yep. Makes sense. I tried lifting the door and pushing it in all sorts of different directions, but no matter what I did, the door would only rattle. It showed no sign of opening. Suddenly, hot water from the shower that I knew I'd turned off came back on. I tested the handle and confirmed that it had been completely turned off. You've gotta be kidding me. I had a bad feeling about this. Nami, open the door. Nami, I shouted out as loud as I could. There's no eye there. Whatever. But there was no response. I looked down and saw that a metal bar about the size of a stick of chewing gum had been wedged into the rail of the sliding door. What's this? It had been put there to prevent the door from opening. Clearly, this thing wasn't the reason why I couldn't open the door. I tried to remove it, but only ended up hurting my thumb. It was no good. What am I supposed to do now? I checked the window, but it was too small. I wouldn't be able to fit through it. My bad premonition turned out to be spot on. The hot water pouring out of the shower was getting hotter, and the white steam was getting thicker. It started getting hard to breathe, and I couldn't take it anymore. I got out by breaking through the glass. Wait a minute. As I was changing my clothes, a scary sort of vision came to me. The temperature went up slowly this time, so I was fine. But what if the door had totally shut on Nami? Fortunately, she wasn't strong enough to shut the door all the way, but what if I'd got in before her? I started to get worried about Nami. I guess we'll go to the dining room. It's possible she went looking for her watch. I headed to the dining room, but Nami wasn't there. I went inside just in case and even looked around the kitchen further in, but as I expected, she wasn't there. Where could she have gone? I saw a flash of white clothing in the hallway. In a panic, I turned and faced the door, but all I saw was the hem of a white dress. Who's that? I ran off in pursuit as fast as I could. Still, there wasn't any trace of anybody in the hallway. Weird. Nami would never wear anything like that. Without anywhere else to go, I wound up back at the entrance. I could hear someone talking from the second floor. I listened hard, but then I suddenly couldn't hear anything. That's odd. I'm pretty sure I heard someone just now. I quietly headed up to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I could hear someone talking again from the other side of the hallway. As I got closer, the voices became increasingly clear. It seemed to be a conversation between a young man and a young woman. Did whoever owns this house come back? The voices sounded cheerful. I wondered if all of the creepy stuff that went on here was just some sort of misunderstanding. Okay, I forget the name of it. Onryo? Maybe? Yeah, I think so. So, here's my current hypothesis for what's going on. We are currently in like a time skip or whatever. Like we went back in time to before the place was haunted. And the guy killed the woman, and the woman is haunting the place, and she's an Onryo. If that's the actual term that I want to be using. Perhaps I'll remember to actually put a little thing in the on the bottom saying whether or not that's the term I was looking for. Either way. I wondered if all of the creepy stuff that went on here was just some sort of misunderstanding. Some sort of understanding. Like I knew. They knew that we broke in. And stole some stuff, well technically, because we used it. If that were true, then how would we ever be able to explain to them everything we'd been doing here? I felt conflicted as I stepped towards the room before me. I figured I should start with an apology. I lifted my arm, about to knock on the door, but the conversation was suddenly cut short. The door opened slightly. Ah. Did they notice I was here? I froze up and waited for them to appear. A white hand appeared from the gap in the door. A girl's hand. I spoke without thinking. The person inside suddenly drew back. She also seemed to be at a loss for words. But in the next instant, she was suddenly apologizing. Sorry, Huh? It was Nami's voice. What? Nami? What? I opened the door fully and saw Nami standing there. You've gotta be kidding me. What? The tension I was feeling was gone. What were you doing? I thought the owners of the house came back. I did too. Don't surprise me like that. Why do you even come to a place like this? I was so worried about you when— oh, fuck. Why do you even come to a place like this? I was so worried about you when you weren't there after I got out of the shower. You don't understand. Just listen. Nami's eyes started to sparkle, like she was about to tell me some sort of grand adventure. I went looking for my watch, and I heard talking. I figured the owners of the house came back. Same here. That's why I came up here. And the thing is... It's so weird. Just listen, okay? I'm listening. What do you think it was? Who knows? Exactly. So listen. This ain't no make-believe. Come on, open your eyes and see. I already told you, I'm listening. She was starting to irritate me. I nervously knocked on this door. They didn't respond though. They just kept talking and I opened the door and then Don't laugh, just hurry up and tell me. Nobody was there. So, what do you think it might have been? Stop screwing around with me, alright? I'm worried here. I raised my voice at her. Sorry. Nami got her sentence short and changed her posture as if she was about to announce some very important news. Shadow the Hedgehog is a bitch-ass motherfucker. He pissed on my wife. My fucking wife. He took his hedgehog fucking for the dick out. And he pissed on my wife. And he said it was this big. And I said, that's disgusting. I don't remember the actual proper, I remember bits and pieces, whatever. It was a radio. A radio? See? Right there. Now he pointed out a black radio in the middle of the room. Right. Well then, why didn't you come back down afterwards? I was worried. Yeah, about that. Now we looked on top of the dresser. There were 2 Western-style girl dolls that had been placed there. Both of the dolls were wearing the exact same outfit, a red cloth jumper skirt. I felt like I've seen these dolls somewhere before. These dolls? I picked them up. Let me have them. Nami took them very delicately with both hands and pressed both of them against her cheeks. Huh? Nami looked so relaxed. It was a face I'd never seen her make before. Are you okay? Master Wolf! These dolls feel familiar somehow. Oh, that's Nami. These dolls feel familiar somehow. They make me feel they make me feel like a kid again. They just look like dolls to me, but they just look like dolls to me, but I guess it's because I'm a guy. No, I wouldn't say that. These are special. Nami closed her eyes, lost in the moment. I'll never understand women. Ah, fuck. Anyway. Well, anyway. I saw someone kinda like a doll earlier. I'm guessing she's the owner of this house. Yeah? I think it was a lady in a white dress. Nami looked at me. It seemed as though she was still dreaming. It concerns me a little, so I'd like to go back down and check everything out. I turned to leave. Okay. Nami reached out and placed the dolls back like she was handling some great treasure. As she left the room, she waved sadly at the dolls. Bye-bye. Alright, let's continue our search, shall we? Yeah. Nami still seemed a little out of it as we headed downstairs. This door seems suspicious. It was the door at the front of the entrance hall. Maybe the lady in white dress went through it earlier. I opened the door. It continued deeper into a long, dark room. It's like a tunnel, huh? There were candlesticks lined up against this bare stone wall. I turned on my flashlight. There was a door in the back. If you open that door... Oh, if we open that door... Nami started muttering. Yeah? We'll be back in the entrance hall again. Like we went back in time. Huh? This hallway is a tunnel that goes back into the past. She said this with a serious look on her face. You're not making any sense. I paid her no mind and continued along. The door was a slatted shutter type. I could feel the wind outside blowing through the gap. The gap. The floor right in front of the door was soaking wet. Once we open this, we'll be back in the entrance hall, right? Oh, fuck. Once we open this, we'll be back in the entrance hall, right? I opened the door. Whoa. Suddenly, I felt something cold softly touch my face. It was a cluster of vines, wet from the rain. I pushed my way through the vines and made my way out. There, I found a balcony facing the back garden. Wooden scaffolding had been set up there a long time ago. It had become worn down over the years. In the center was a single wooden table that had started to rot, with 3 deck chairs set around it. Each had been turned to face in different directions. There was an overhead trolley, I think that's how you pronounce it, with vines hanging down, making it look like the entrance to a haunted house. The rain had stopped, but water still dripped from the vines, hitting my face and shoulders. What an awesome entrance, huh? I intended to be cynical, but it seemed like Nami hadn't heard me. She suddenly tugged at my hand and pointed to one of the pillars holding up the trellis. Hey, look at that. Hmm? Isn't there something shining there? It's true. That beam looked like a long, thin shadow, and I could see a dim yellow light near the bottom. It didn't seem like a flame or an electric light. It was a gentle light with some kind of sheen to it. Is it the spirit of Princess Kaguya? I thought you'd say that. I was up to the pillar. Okay? Both of you are weird. You deserve each other. Good job, I guess. Oh, it's fluorescent paint. 2 lines about as thick as my finger had been drawn with some space between them, one over the other. But why here of all places? I bent down and turned the light toward the lower line. The paint had dried on top of the wooden pillar's original paint, making it appear crusty. A straight line had been painted over it with fluorescent paint. And upon closer inspection, it seemed that something had been used, perhaps a nail, to etch something in the wood. A straight line along with it, along with what appeared to be letters to the right of it. What's this? Something's written here. I strained my eyes to see what it was. But it was too old and worn out, encrusted with paint. It was too hard to see. We'll be able to read it if we scratch off the paint, Nami said, as she started scratching away at the paint with her fingernail. Nami is fucking possessed. More news at 12. It was fun watching her hard at work peeling away the paint, and soon the pillar revealed what was written underneath. Girl, your finger beds or your nail beds are gonna be in so much pain. So much pain. Holy shit. Nami, that's what had been carved there. I felt like there was something black in the pitter-patter of my stomach. Nami stopped moving her finger the moment she saw it, but then went right back to peeling away the paint. Hey, Nami. I tapped her on the shoulder from behind, but she ignored me and kept working on scratching away the paint. She ended up scratching off the paint up to centimeters above and below the painted area. That's at least half an inch. Most of the old paint had been totally scratched off. There were actually 2 lines underneath both sets of lines, for a total of 4 in all, and beside each line was a name. The names Nami, Naomi, Naomi, and Nami had been carved in that order. Slowly, Nami looked back at me. The woman's name was Naomi. She is dead. She's gonna try to replace Nami. There we go. She had a stoic expression on her face. Comparing heights. Oh, comparing heights. Huh? Oh, right. I see. I wonder who Naomi is. Well, I'm Nami, right? I'm the only Nami in existence. I'm the only Nami that matters. But who's Naomi? Hey, what are you talking about? I gave Nami's shoulder an exaggerated slug. She was integrated into the pillar by at least 10 centimeters or 3 inches. That's just the name of the girl who lives here. You're overthinking it. Am I? You are. It's just a coincidence. What's wrong with you, Nami? You're not acting like yourself. You look really dark too. I hope it's just a coincidence, but... What about that lady you mentioned earlier? The one in the white dress? Huh? She looked like me, didn't she? I didn't see her face. Oh. All sorts of questions came to mind. Why would Nami... Oh. These are actual options. I mean, all of the above, really? But I guess we'll go with... What did Nami mean by that? Nami. Nami looked intently at the height comparison lines. She seemed pale. I knew we had to get away from this place, first and foremost. Come on, let's go inside. We just got soaked from those vines, and right after our bath. But... Nami still had a dark expression on her face. I brought my mouth up to Nami's ears. We could take a shower together this time, you know. Milady? Don't be stupid. She finally left a little. Alright, let's go. Sure. I took Nami by the hand and we walked toward the slatted shutter door. I looked back before we went through the door, and I could see speckles of fluorescent paint still left behind on one side of the dark balcony. Should we check that room? We still hadn't fully checked everything on the left side. I started walking that way. Do you think it's open? I stood in front of the door and turned the knob. It sure is dark, huh? The only illumination was provided by a single candle in the corner of the room, but there was a switch on the wall. The lights turned on. There was a dazzlingly bright chandelier hanging from the ceiling. Chandelier! It sure is spacious here. Say, isn't that a piano over there? Now I pointed to the right side of the room. You're right. It's a piano hall. We went inside. There were sliding glass doors leading out to the backyard. It may look quite beautiful during the day, but at night, the black against the glass just reflected what was in the room. Before I knew it, Nami was standing in front of the piano, tapping away at the keys. You can play the piano, Nami? I can't play it well enough to answer that question with a yes, but I do like the sound of the piano. Well, what song is that? I don't know. The title theme of this game. I don't know the title or even who composed it. Someone taught you how to play it? No, I just remember hearing it a long time ago. I have perfect pitch, you know. I'm not even sure when though. I find it odd myself. Laughs like that sometimes, yeah? Suddenly, Nami's hands stopped moving. What's wrong? Is it over already? Nami was looking past me, over my shoulder. Hey, that's... I looked behind me. I saw a painting of a lady hung up on the wall. It was a woman in her 30s wearing a traditional Japanese wedding... Fucking hell. It was a woman in her 30s wearing traditional Japanese clothes, standing with a mountain range behind her. Her long hair had been brushed over her left shoulder. She held wildflowers in both hands, which she had clutched against her chest. A picture? Obviously. But do you notice anything special about it? Navi smiled, as if she was challenging me. I started to panic. Was it painted by a famous artist? I didn't know anything about paintings, though. Oh, this one. Hey, those are hypericums she's holding. Oh yeah, now that you mention it. But there's something else too. Doesn't she look like me? Huh? That was sudden. I took another look at the woman in the painting. At first, I didn't know what Nami meant. The lady's makeup was very old-fashioned, and the painting seemed old, so I couldn't really see a resemblance to Nami, who was a typical modern-day girl. She had eyes, and ears, and even a mouth. But as I looked at it more, I saw a similarity in the eyes, and that's when it hit me. Nami bent her head the same way whenever she smiled, and had a tendency of slightly lifting her chin up. It made her look less symmetrical. When she got careless, the expression even made her look ever so homely. It made me feel uneasy, like handling newborn babies who can't support their own neck yet. I did love it when Nami smiled, but every time she did, I felt a sense of loss and fear. The smile of the lady in the painting made me feel that exact same sense of unease. More than her physical features, it was her expression that surprised me. I don't see it. She doesn't look like you at all. I lied because I found it creepy how similar they were. Oh? Nami smiled Nami smiled lightly and tilted her head. It was like the painting had come to life. It sent a chin down my it sent a chin down my spine. Someone attacked me with their chin. Just that moment. It sent a chill down my spine. But, you know, Nami, you're not as pretty as her. That's... Look. If you need pointers on how to fumble the bag, just turn to Volta. I turned away so I didn't have to meet Nami's gaze. So you're saying I'm ugly? Nami slammed on the piano keys and stood up. I didn't say you were ugly. You said it just now. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Nami pouted angrily. Now her face looked nothing like the picture. No, it's just... I started to lighten up my expression. Okay, I said it. What, are you just teasing me? Then I'm not playing the piano for you ever again. Nami turned her back to me. The wind blew in at that moment. Uh-oh. The windows are closed. How the fuck does that keep happening? Where's the fire coming from? Help! We're in Dio's mansion. The curtain blew up to the lit candle on the piano and caught on fire, which quickly spread across the entire curtain. Ah. The burning curtain fell on Nami's face. Nami! I pulled the curtain off in a hurry. The metal part that attached it to the rail ripped right off. I hurled it to the floor and stomped on it with my feet in a panic. The fire was strong, but fortunately the thin curtain didn't provide much fuel. Since it had nothing else to travel to, I managed to extinguish the fire. Phew! The whole house almost went down in flames. Are you okay, Nami? She didn't respond. She just stood there facing the wall, her back turned to me. What's wrong? A burn? When I asked this question, Nami turned to me and slowly nodded. Where? Where's the burn? The face. Huh? I approached her, confused until she pointed at the lady in the painting. When the curtain was flapping around, the heat must have melted the oil in the painting, making the lady appear to have been burned on the right side of her face. Oh, is that all? Man, you surprised me. I thought you meant your own face. I laughed relieved until Nami said something that made no sense. Mom. Sis? What do you mean, sis? I didn't know what she was talking about. Nami is an only child. I stood there dumbfounded. And then Nami suddenly started trembling and ran for the exit. Where are you going? Flustered, I grabbed Nami by the arm. Let me go. I have to find that mommy, or else. That mommy? The one in the wheelchair? Yeah, so let me go. Nami struggled so hard I thought she might rip my arm off. Calm down, Nami. What's going on? Let me go. I'm not letting you go until you calm down. I grabbed Nami by both shoulders and looked her straight in the eyes. What's this all about? Explain it to me. I used to live in this house. I lived here a long time ago. Okay, that change in BGM was sudden. That's news to me. A long time ago? How long ago was it? I don't know. I just know it was when I was really little. I lived here together with my mom and dad. And my older sister. Your older sister? But you're an only child, right? No. I had an older sister, she whispered. Why did you hide it from me? I never heard you talk about her before. I wasn't hiding it from you, Walter. I'd never do that. I only just knew it now. We've been dating for 3 months, and this one day that we've been stuck here in this fucking mansion. I can't believe it. I remembered for the first time. I'm as shocked as you are that I had a different mom. But now I know. I remember her now. Nami's lips quivered. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that you hid it from me. Words. I should watch what I say. Yeah, you should. I apologized, but I still couldn't believe what she was saying. While we stumbled into this mansion by accident, she just happens to have lived here a long time ago. But Nami, it's not that I don't believe you, but isn't it possible that you're just mistaken? I mean, all sorts of crazy things have happened, or have been happening to us since we've got here. You're tired, you're not thinking straight, you're thinking gay. No, this can't be some kind of trick. Nami shook her head. I remember now, though it's faint, it's getting clearer. But if it's true, Oh, Walter. Nami looked at me as though she wanted me to save her. What should I do? That Mummy has to be either... Oh, what should I do? That Mummy has to be either my mom or my sister. But what am I supposed to do? I don't know what to say to her. Nami looked down at the ground, trembling. I might have done something that I can never undo. Something you can never undo? What would that be? I can't remember what it is yet, but it's something. If you give me $5.99 it, you can get the memory DLC, and I will know. I did something to my sister, but I can't remember what. That's why I have to find out that mummy. Nami stumbled to the hallway. I said, well, she's in a hurry, so let's find the mummy, I guess. Okay, Nami, I'll help you. We'll find that mummy together. Nami and I left the piano room. It was silent in the hall, as if nothing had happened. We should start searching from the second floor, shouldn't we? We slowly trudged upstairs. Nami had said what she said, but it made no sense to me. She'd found out her name here, and She'd found her name here, and we'd experienced all sorts of strange things, but she's just confused. Once we've checked through everything, we'll get some rest on the sofa. Tomorrow, the two of us will probably be having a good laugh about all of this. Okay, should we start checking from the second floor? As we headed up to the second floor hallway, I turned and looked behind me. Huh? Nami wasn't there. Did I lose her somewhere? I was sure she was right behind me. I even heard her. Well, we just made it up to the second floor, so I should probably look down at the first floor hall. I looked down into the hall on the first floor. When I turned around to face the sudden sound I'd heard, I saw a wheelchair with nobody on it racing towards me at high speeds. Whoa! I had dodged the wheelchair by the skin of my teeth. The wheelchair collided with the handrail of the stairs. If it had hit me, I might have fallen downstairs along with the wheelchair. But there was something else that I was more concerned about. I'd caught a glimpse of the person who thrust the wheelchair towards me. It looked like Nami. Could she have done it? That was going through too far to just be a joke. Could the confusion that she was feeling have driven her crazy? Glancing at the wheelchair, I noticed something silver shining on it. It was a wrench. Oh hey, this is my wrench. The wrench was wrapped in tape and had my name, Walter, written on it. I'd been using it to do maintenance on my car. Who brought this here? At that moment, a door opened nearby. Oh, Nami. Nami had a stoic look on her face. You had me worried there. Oh, you had me worried there. I ran over to her, but Nami took one look at me, stepped back into the room she was in, and shut the door. Hey! I dashed over and opened the door. Nami had buried her face in the bed on the right-hand corner of the room. What happened, Nami? Nami didn't look up. She just pointed at the desk. It looked like she had just started crying. There was a single photograph on the desk. It was an old photograph with a sepia color tone. In the photo were two girls, probably around 3 years old, standing next to each other, wearing the same white blouse. Not only were they wearing matching clothes, they looked perfectly alike. Guessing they were identical twins, conceived from a single egg. When I saw the photo, I immediately understand what Nami was thinking, but I asked her anyway. So, what's the big idea? That photo. She looks like me, doesn't she? I could hear Nami's voice coming from under the bedsheet. It sounded like she was crying. How so? I don't see the resemblance. Take a closer look then. Why? There's no way either of these little kids turn into a girl as beautiful as you, Nami. Stop it. That's enough. Enough of what? Look at the name tags pinned on their chests. Name tags? The two girls in the photo did have name tags pinned on their chests. One was Nami and the other was Naomi. So what? It's just a coincidence. When I hesitated to say any more, Nami looked up at me. The second our eyes met, she covered her face with her hands and jumped straight out of the room. It was all too much. I was dumbfounded. Was everything that Nami said true? Did she really live with her sister? And it wasn't Nami, but Naomi. If they were identical twins, then it wouldn't be out of the question. But why? Why would Nami's sister mess with my car and attack me? What did I ever do to her? Now that I think about it, I remembered what happened in the shower. Maybe that was Naomi too. I don't know why she would have a grudge against me, but one thing was clear. She was trying to hurt us. I started to get worried about Nami. Nami. When I went out the hallway, the door further ahead closed. It was probably now Naomi's room. I started walking that way, but when I looked down, I could see wet footprints that led to a different room. I also heard the piano coming from below. Where could Nami be? Well, Nami's footprints would not be wet, I don't think. Naomi's footprints would be wet, because she just went out into the rain to get the wrench. I don't know, let's just go to the door. I ran to the hallway over to the door that had shut. Strangely enough, nobody was inside. That's weird. I'm sure I saw someone just come in here. I took a peek in the cabinet and under the bed, anywhere a person might be able to hide, but nobody was there. I happened to notice an old diary on the desk. On the cover, it said, Year 1, Class 3. Opening it up, I could see writing that looked like it was done by a child. It was Naomi's diary, back when she was in the elementary school. I was worried about Nami and all, but curiosity got the better of me, and I started reading the diary. April 20th. Sunny. Today, Mom made me more retinol-tinced oil. She always rubs it on me and prays I'll get better. Next time, I hope my burn will get better. April 21st. Sunny. Mom rubbed the medicine on me again today. She said my burn's not so bad, but it is. I don't have any friends at school. They say my burn looks gross. Once it goes away, I think I can make some friends. Did she have any traces left of a burn? I tried to remember Naomi's face when she attacked me, but I was so caught up in the moment that I didn't really look at her that closely. I kept reading the diary. May 20th, cloudy. A boy pulled my hair today. Everybody left when I cried. When I got home, Mom said I had something on my back. I asked her to pull it off. It was a piece of paper. It said monster. June 18th, rainy. We used up all of the medicine, but my burn didn't go away. Mom told me not to worry and the burn will go away when I get older, but I just want friends. I'm always alone. Her writing was childish, the sentences were short and disjointed. At times it seemed like she was just writing down her memories, but every memory she wrote in the diary was bad. She blamed all of her bad experiences on her burn. There was another notebook on the desk. It was another diary, but this one was written by an adult. June 3rd. Despite having used that new medicine for a whole month, the burn on my forehead is stubborn. It refuses to heal. I can only guess how long it might take, but eventually, a day will come when I'll be able to leave this house. Why must I alone suffer this burn? Why must I alone be burdened by such misfortune? I cut my hair again. July 3rd. Today I learned of the first time that I had a twin sister. For the first time, whatever. I knew Mom was hiding something from me for the longest time, but I found her diary stuck in a drawer. I asked her why she never told me about her. She said that it's because my sister died very early on. I don't believe her. I think Mom's still hiding something from me. Today I turned 20. September 20th. I read Mom's diary, and now I know what caused it. I know that my little sister was the one who started the fire that burned me. Mom told me that Nami died in the fire at that time, but she can say whatever she wants. It's obvious to me that she's lying. It's obvious. She's trying to hide the truth from me. Guaranteed. September 30th. Mom's still hiding the truth from me. She still is. I ask her over and over again, but she won't respond. She just sits there silently. I asked her yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that. Nothing. No reply. I'll ask her again tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow too. I'll keep asking her until she tells me. October 15th. Mom just won't listen. Never says anything anymore. She just sits in her chair without a single word. She won't even open her eyes. I don't even care anymore though. I'm going to go and find Nami. November 5th. Mom, why don't you ever eat? I went through the trouble of making soup for you. You've gotten so thin ever since you stopped eating. I even untied the ropes so you could eat, but you still won't. Is it because you're mad at me for keeping you shut in your room for so long? I mean, I'm not mad at Nami anymore. I even managed to make some friends. December 30th. From that after someone locked her in a room. Who could have done such a thing? I lost the only family member I have. Mom, I'm so lonely. Wish I was that too. February 14th. 49 days have passed now, Mom. I grieved for you the whole time, but I've forgotten about Nami. I still have Nami. She must be alive somewhere out there. I want to see her soon. I'll introduce her to my friends and then we can all live together. I know we'll be happy. We're sisters after all, Nami. The diary ended here. This means she killed her own mother, didn't she? I felt panic start to set in. I have to find Nami right now. When I turned around, I saw someone peeking in at me through the gap in the door. A gap, probably. Who's there? The face disappeared. Was that Naomi just now? I went out into the hallway. The figure had just got into the room behind the next door over. It was the room I'd never opened. I grabbed the doorknob. Wow. An electric current surged through my body. I died, apparently. My hand wouldn't leave the knob. I felt my vision go white, my consciousness growing farther away. Nami, you're so cute, Nami. I could hear someone muttering. I opened my eyes. The light from the chandelier was so bright. Ah. I tried to get up, but my arms and legs were bound with rope. I couldn't move. I turned my head to the side and saw some yellow flowers. They were hypericums. This is that coffin, isn't it? I'd had my hands tied behind my back, and I'd been placed in a coffin full of hypericums. Your hair looks good like this. I heard that voice again. The voice sounded just like Nami's. I raised my head, but I only got a small glimpse out of the coffin. I saw that Nami had been made to sit in a wheelchair, and this girl in the white dress was combing her hair. That must be Naomi. I didn't know if Nami had been asleep or knocked out, or her eyes were closed and she seemed to be totally unconscious. I think she might be dead, y'all. Next, some makeup. The girl turned to face my direction. In a panic, I put my head down. There was no point causing a scene when I couldn't move. I figured it was best to pretend that I was still unconscious. I held my breath and listened to what she was saying. I almost remember you. I remember a girl I used to play with when I was little. Mom told me that she moved away, but she was just trying to trick me. Even when I found out I had a sister, she didn't want me to meet you. She said you were dead. What a terrible excuse for a mother, wouldn't you say? But I knew I'd meet you one day, and when I did, I swore that I'd take care of you. I thought about doing this sort of thing for so many years. I wanted to comb your hair like this and put on makeup. Naomi seemed to be genuinely happy as she laughed. What had happened to all of the resentment that she had poured into her diary? They really do look alike, though. Aside from the burn. You know, I went through a lot of pain up until junior high school because of this burn. My friends used to tease me. I got bullied. I ended up becoming a shut-in, which only made me feel lonelier. After junior high school, I pretty much never left the house. I lived with Mom here, just the two of us. I didn't have any friends, not one, because of the burn. Naomi's tone of voice had suddenly grown coarse. Surprised, I lifted my head up. I could see that she was hugging Nami's unresponsive head. She had gritted her teeth, scowling to hold back her anger. She didn't know that I was watching her, and the thing is, I was surprised by what I saw. I saw their faces side by side. Naomi had kept going on and on about her burn, but their faces looked exactly the same to me. Clearly, the burn wasn't the problem. Her problem was a mental one. Naomi's lips quivered with anger. After a moment, her shoulders dropped and the expression on her face became gentle. But even though I didn't have any human friends, I had all sorts of other friends. Do you know what kinds of friends I had? Well, I had the grass and the flowers and the stars and the wind. You probably don't believe me, but it's true. You can't believe your own sister. It was amazing. Countless flowers in a field, each tell me a love story. The wind and the stars would quietly whisper poems about like gems in the cool hours of the early morning. So those were the friends she wrote about making in her diary. she really had become totally locked in her own world. People are terrible, you know. You can trust someone and have that trust fall apart in the blink of an eye. Someone we had faith in until yesterday might today become a monster the likes of which we've never seen. One that would bring us so much pain. I know that you're the one who gave me this burn. I despised you for that, a long time ago. But I don't feel that anyway now. People aren't terrible. The stars and the wind have told me that much. The trees and flowers. My friends. I'm happy now, Nami. And I want you, my little sister, to be able to experience that same happiness. The wheelchair started to move. Come on, let's go. It's going to be hot, but it only hurts for a little while. Naomi intended to burn Nami, just like she had been burned. Wait, I shouted. Naomi turned to face me. Alright. I need to close the coffin. She drew closer, ever so slightly, but I couldn't even lift a finger to stop her. Nami, wake up! Nami! I shouted as loud as I could, but Nami wouldn't open her eyes. I must thank you. You brought Nami to me after all. Sleep well now. Naomi pushed my body down, and while she closed the lid, she tossed the candlestick inside. It wouldn't be so dark in there, not with this. Ow, it's hot! I twisted my body away from the fire. The candle continued burning in the coffin. You bitch! You wanna burn me to death in here? The hypericums in the coffin were freshly picked, too fresh to catch on fire right away, but the flames could spread to the cloth lining of the coffin, and even if the fire didn't kill me, after that the lack of oxygen would. I had to put out the fire. I started to roll around in the coffin as hard as I could, hoping to put out the fire. It occurred to me that I might be able to use a candle to burn away the rope, so I brought my tight hands closer to the flame. It's so hot. Ah! I waited my teeth staring that small coffin, my body writhing. Hurry! Hurry! Just gotta break through. There! I ripped open the lid even. The door was closed, and the two of them weren't here anymore. When I looked at the window, I could see that the curtains were on fire. She probably wanted a second chance to burn me to death, just in case. I untied my feet as fast as I could and jumped straight for the door. Please be open. But it was locked from the outside, and the door wouldn't budge. I looked around the room, but it was empty, aside from the coffin. The flames on the curtains were starting to fill the room with black smoke. If I didn't get out of here soon, I'd be smothered to death. I dragged the coffin to the front of the door, stood it upright, and knocked it over as hard as I could towards the door. The hinges popped off, and the door opened. Nami! There was no trace of either of them. Where did you go? I opened the door that was right in front of me. The moment I opened the door, something swooshed right in front of my eyes, almost hitting me. When I looked down, I saw the axe that the suit of armor had been holding. Had the axe been rigged to fall when somebody opened the door? If I had walked into the room faster, I'd have been dead. I need to be careful. I looked around inside the room, but nobody was there. Thinking it might be useful, I picked up the axe. I might be able to use it to open a door. Who knows what other traps might be when I open a different door. Yeah. I had a good idea of where Nami and Naomi had gone. The room I had tried to enter earlier but couldn't. When I tried to go inside before, Nami was only scared of it. It could be that room, the room we didn't open. That's got to be it. I decided to trust my instincts. As I got closer, I could hear voices. The voices were coming from the door I hadn't opened, just as I expected. I stood at the door and carefully peeked through the keyhole. I could see Nami sitting there. I'm not sure when her clothes had changed, but she was wearing the same white clothes as Naomi, her hair held back by a hairpin. She seemed to be awake now, but was tied by a rope and had her mouth gagged. Another person appeared to be sitting next to Nami, but I couldn't see them clearly because of Naomi's shadow. Naomi stood before a wooden desk, mixing some sort of chemicals even. I tried twisting the doorknob, but it was locked from the inside. Now we really will be twins. Nami, look over at Mom, okay? Naomi moved slightly. The person sitting next to Nami was that Nami hit her mom. Naomi filled the flask with the chemical she'd put together and approached Nami's face with it. Naomi was trying her hardest to move her face away from the flask. It will only hurt for a second. Naomi tilted the flask. Nami shook her head from side to side. She did the Mario. Drops of the chemical fell to the side, hitting the body sitting on the wheelchair. At that very second, white smoke started to rise up. Don't fight me. I'm doing this for your own good. Naomi held Nami's face in place with her left hand. Tears streamed down Nami's face. Don't cry. It only hurts for a second. You'll be fine, okay? I lifted the axe and slammed into the door, busting right through it. Here's Walter! Stop it! I hurled the axe at Naomi with all my might. Ah! Naomi lost her balance trying to avoid the axe and ended up spilling the flask's contents on the mummy's face. Before my very eyes, the mummy's entire face was melting away. Oh, Mom! Your face! Flustered, Naomi cast me a scornful look as I undid the rope that had been used to tie Nami up. Walter! Mummy. There was a loud sound, and the room shook. Those flames from earlier must have ignited something somewhere. How could you? How could you do this to my mom? Oh, that was Nami. Whatever. Naomi looked straight at me with the crazed look in her eyes. Let's get out of here. I pulled Nami by the hand into the hallway. There was the sound of another explosion. It shook the whole mansion. We were falling over ourselves as we ran downstairs to the entrance hall. We can get out through here. Oh yes, we can. I gripped the axe in both hands. At that moment, the floor of the entire entrance hall erupted in flames. No. Now we can get near the door. Nami, stand back. I hurled the axe at the aquarium. But what came pouring out of the aquarium wasn't water. Somebody had swapped it out for something else, because what came out of the aquarium was a big black cluster that unfurled slowly and spread out on the floor. Snakes! A huge pile of snakes! The snakes crawled along, trying to avoid the fire on the floor, which forced us to separate. Walter! It's no good. These are the venomous snakes. Nami, go through the back exit. I'll leave through the terrace. We'll meet up in the garden out back. You have to make it, okay? And after she said that, Nami ran down the hallway. I opened a nearby door that led to the garden terrace from the entrance hall and ran through the pitch black passage. Nami! When I made it out to the garden in the back, I used the terrace stairs and faced the rear of the exit of the station over the mansion. I can read, sometimes. Nami had to come out through here. But then the flames started to pour out of the underground room with the boiler. Oh, right. The explosion came from the boiler room. The boiler room was really close to the bathroom and Nami had to pass by the bathroom. Was she going to be okay? Nami still hadn't come out. I ran over to the rear exit. I ran past the kitchen. Nami still hadn't shown up. I ran past the back of the bedroom. The door Nami was supposed to pass through still hadn't opened. Nami! Nami! I went past the burning boiler room, and just as I made it to the concrete landing by the back exit, the door finally opened. Nami burst through the door like she had really leaned into it. Nami! I almost collapsed onto the landing as I knelt Nami. Nami! You gotta keep it together. Flames were already starting to reach outside of the mansion. The glass windows started breaking. I tried to shield Nami as we ran to take refuge at the greenhouse. There, at the greenhouse, Nami was exhausted. I set her in the flowers and kept calling her name. Nami, you're okay. We're safe. Nami slowly opened her eyes. Nami. Oh, I'm so glad. I held Nami in my arms. I looked behind me. The mansion was ablaze under the night sky. Nami stood up and looked at the mansion. Nami. At that moment, the blazing mansion fell with a huge crash. Amidst the flames, I heard a scream. Walter! Would it be? That's what I expected. Nami turned back to me, slowly, holding up her hair, showing me her forehead. Alright, so I'm assuming I got the bad ending. Oh. fun story. I forget the exact name, because this is like the precursor to visual novels, but it's not a visual novel, it's like a sound novel, I think, because they really went hard on the sound design, which, yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was, you know, it was kind of like a campfire ghost story sort of deal. It was nice. It was enjoyable. Even if, you know, we don't only see the bad ending. And yeah, I don't know what else to say really. Hopefully my voice acting wasn't fucking ass. I guess that's for one. But aside from that, I don't know. I do wonder what, because I don't think I actually got a choice at the end there, so I do wonder what choices you need to make it so Nami survives, assuming she can. But also they cut it off right at the right moment, because like you know, they told you everything that you need to know without actually spelling it out, which I mean, they kind of spelled it out, like, let's be real here, but still. And I did like how they set up for multiple kind of twists, like what I said, that didn't come true. Like, I also figured that it might have been the thing of, you know, Nami doesn't know, or has amnesia or whatever, and used to live here and all that stuff. But, you know, on some level, being able to figure out where the story is going is just good writing. Which, I mean, you know, you don't want to be too predictable, but you don't want the story to not make sense. Like, if you have to choose between making sense and being predictable, and, you know, being unpredictable but also not making sense internally, then yeah, you should choose. Did I call it? I didn't know it was made in 92. I might have actually called it. But yeah, like, you know, I think it was, yeah, a bad ending. That's what I figured. Alright, well, I'm set to inform you that I will not be doing another, like, 5 or so runs. It would probably take me to actually get the good ending. So, either check the game out for yourself, or fucking Dungeon Chill probably has all of the endings up. So, you know, whichever seems more up your alley. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video, and with that, I'll see you in the next one.